Alright, look, I love Halo's universe. It is the reason why I play and love Halo as much as I do. What makes part of the universe so sweet is the rich extended universe experience we get in novels, with having roughly 30 novels alone, not including any comics that we have to really digest in and read. It makes the universe just feel way more alive and a much richer experience to be a part of as a player. They give you such an understanding that makes every experience you have in-game that much sweeter because you have a greater context of what's happening in the universe around you. One such book was Halo Silent Storm, written by Troy Denning. Halo Silent Storm released in September 2018 and is the most recent Master Chief-centered Halo novel in the Halo universe that takes us through a Covenant War era story that follows the Master Chief and almost all of the other living Spartan 2s present at that time in the universe as they embark on a harrowing mission that ends up finding themselves fighting against more than just the Covenant. This novel is rich both in action and character development of some of the most beloved people and characters within the Halo universe, and today I want to review this book, at least in a sense. Howdy hey folks, welcome back to the channel. As you know, it is my desire to bring you joy in all of the content that I create. I'm the Coltrane, and today I want to give you 3 reasons why you should read Halo Silent Storm. Before we jump in, 2 things. If you don't want any spoilers for this novel, then stop here, go read it, then come back and watch the rest of this once you're done. The second thing is, if you've read Halo novels, I would love to know which one is your favorite. Let me know in the comments below. But with that, let's jump in. Reason number 1, this is a good book and you should read it, is it tells a coming-of-age tale of the Master Chief. The book takes place when John and the rest of the Spartans are very young, teenagers in fact. Throughout the narrative, we see a young Master Chief be uncertain of himself and what the correct action to take in several different scenarios is. We even see him make some mistakes and make some wrong decisions that have consequences, and then see how John has to work through them. This really paints John's humanity and continues the threads of what we have seen in Halos 4 and 5 and the Fall of Reach animated short, namely that he is in fact a human being with real human struggles in various circumstances, and he isn't always flawless in those decisions. What this does is it sort of gives you a peek under the armor in a sense. It very much gives you a feel that John and the other Spartans are very much human and not just some awesome cyborgs killing a bunch of aliens. This peek under the armor writing style makes you care more about John the human and not just John the Master Chief who's a Spartan. This really goes for all the Spartans in the book, and it really just adds such a narrative depth and perspective that really makes the reading all the more enjoyable and makes the narrative just that much sweeter, particularly when you get to see some of these characters in game. Reason number 2 this book is great is it has some excellent UNSC versus insurrection battles and conflicts. So much of the narrative in this book is tied up in a fairly interesting story of undercover insurrectionists within the UNSC and the sabotage and problems they cause for the UNSC and the Spartans during Operation Silent Storm. It just gives a really cool look again at the war within the war between the UNSC and their insurrection. And this is such a cool dynamic of Halo that the books just give a real perspective to, but the games just haven't because they've never been included firsthand in the games. While it's understandable within the stories told within the games as to why the insurrection conflicts haven't made it in the game, I do believe they should be present at some point in a Halo game. They would just add another layer of depth and narrative options that could be explored and new stories to be experienced, particularly from humanity's viewpoint. They add just another layer of depth and narrative options that could be explored and new stories to be experienced, particularly from humanity's viewpoint. I think Halo is really strengthened narratively when we get a good look at different angles of humans and their humanity. It takes us away from the center focus of Master Chief, Spartans, Covenant, and the whole universe is about to end theme, and injects some level of relatability when we see quote-unquote normal people struggle in this crazy universe. When you consider pieces of Halo novels that do this well, such as Halo Smoke and Shadow, Halo Renegades, and even the Kilo 5 trilogy, you really see how much depth and narrative material there is available when examining human stories from various perspectives of the universe, both close and far from the larger main conflict points of the universe. But I digress. The point is here, this novel really adds to it in this UNSC insurrectionist kind of way, especially from a humanity perspective standpoint. And point number 3, why this book is great and you should read it, character interaction. This novel contains a lot of characters. Spartans, UNSC officers, Halsey, Sergeant Johnson, insurrectionists, Covenant leaders and troops, and by and large, Troy Denning writes and balances them all pretty well. The story is definitely focused on the Master Chief and his Spartans, but the interaction between all of these characters is really nice, and it fits all of the characters rather well, especially when comparing some of these characters' appearances in previous novels or in games, and just how they're presented in this story. The dynamic is especially good between the Spartans themselves and Sergeant Johnson. You get a real sense of a big brother feel of Sergeant Johnson to the Master Chief in a lot of their interaction. And frankly, to me, Johnson's involvement here and the drill down into his character we get really adds gravity to each time we interact with the Sergeant in-game, and it especially makes his death and sacrifice at the end of Halo 3 all the more weighty and meaningful. You couple this with Johnson's story in the Halo novel Contact Harvest, and you gain an even deeper love and appreciation for this character, and it really makes every moment with him in-game all the more sweeter. Now, as I sat and prepared this video, nothing overly negative really stuck out to me. If there were any lore inconsistencies, I'm unsure of them and would defer you to somebody like Halo Canon, or maybe go look at Halo Wikipedia for kind of a deeper dive there. I didn't feel the book had any overly dry spots or any periods where the writing was poor or conflict resolution wasn't done as well as the reader might feel it should be. I will say the book strikes a great balance of having a resolution at the end while also clearly setting up for the sequel, Halo Oblivion, which is releasing next month or on and around September the 24th. Troy Denning appears to do that quite well, and I felt he did similar with his novels Last Light and Retribution, which if you like Blue Team, go read those books. They're fantastic looks into the characters of Fred, Linda, and Kelly. Very good, definitely read them. The last thing I want to say about this book is I can't help but note the significance of this novel in light of Halo Infinite's approaching release in holiday 2020. 343 has been clear that Halo Infinite will be a Chief-centric in its story, and the fact that this novel exists and the timing of it and its sequel coming next month, to me, really makes it seem like a real primer to begin to build more character in and around the Master Chief as we prepare for Halo Infinite. Let's hope we get similar narrative excellence from a character-driven standpoint like we did in Halo 4, and how cool would it be if a background story like this one had some kind of in-game nod or other enriching experience from a character depth standpoint in Halo Infinite. It's always sweet when something from the extended universe gets put into the game and vice versa. It just makes the end experience as the user all the much sweeter. Time will tell, but for now, I leave you with this. So let me know in the comments below. Have you read the book? And if so, what did you think? Also, go ahead and let me know what your favorite Halo novel is out of the ones you have read. Hey everyone, thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, then I would invite you to leave a like as well as consider subscribing and hitting the bell if you'd like to see more content from me. But let's not leave it there. Interacting is always the best part, so I want to invite you to a couple places where you can do that with me. The first is Twitter. I'm constantly tweeting about anything game related as well as just sharing my everyday life, and would love to interact and talk with you there. Also, would love to invite you to come hang out with me on stream sometime. I stream every Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday by 9 p.m. Eastern. Would love to invite you to come hang out there and talk about any games you're playing as well as just experience whatever I'm playing at that time. Lastly, would also love to invite you to come give our podcast a listen, the Fair and Balanced Play podcast. I and some friends talk about anything in gaming, anything that's happening in the industry, and would love to invite you to come join in on that and interact with us there. But regardless of what you choose to do, I hope you choose joy in your life today. And I hope you take that joy and you go give it to the next person you interact with. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.